Jalen Lecque had an interesting path to the NBA. In high school, Jalen Lecque reclassified and transferred schools, which extended his time in high school to 5 years. The NBA uses the original expected graduation date for NBA draft eligibility, which meant that Jalen Lecque was now draft eligible even though he had never attended college. This is a weird loophole that allows players to skip college entirely. Jalen Lecque originally committed to NC State while he was in high school, but decided to declare for the draft because he was allowed to, and he wanted to see his options. The NCAA allows players to declare for the draft and withdraw by a certain deadline to stay in college, and he didn't. He stayed past that deadline, and that meant he was only eligible to play in the NBA now. He could not return back to the NCAA. Jalen was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and when he declared for the draft, he was considered by many scouts the 30 to 35th best prospect in the draft, which is really high considering we had not seen him against high-level competition. He attended the draft combine and had the highest vertical leap among all players attending at 43 inches. I mean, just look at this. Imagine playing against this in high school. After his impressive vertical leap, he just left the combine early. He didn't complete all the drills, and many teams didn't get to see a lot from him. This is speculation, but a team probably guaranteed that they would draft him if they had the opportunity, or at the very least, sign him as an undrafted free agent. Was it the Suns? Well, it seems like it. It didn't take long after the draft ended for Jalen Lecque and the Phoenix Suns to agree to a 4-year deal with 2 guaranteed years. This is not a normal deal for an undrafted free agent. For example, Taco Fall signed an Exhibit 10 deal, which allows the Celtics to keep him for Summer League and possibly for the G League, but has no guarantee and does not necessarily extend past the summer. Jalen got up to 4 years. This is the type of contract given to second-round picks, and the Suns appear to be treating him like a player they targeted and not a last-second pickup. So the question is, was it smart for the Suns to guarantee money to what is essentially a high schooler who we have not seen against high-level competition for 2 years? Well, the Suns need a point guard to pair with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, and Rubio is only on a 3-year deal and is likely not the long-term solution. So could that be Jalen? Is it even possible to find a long-term solution that wasn't even regarded high enough to be drafted? Let's take a look at the type of player that Jalen is to determine that. Jalen is a freakish athlete with insane bounce. I mean, did you see this? There's a reason he's known as Baby Westbrook. He plays an aggressive downhill style of basketball, able to attack from all angles, hang in the air, and finish through contact. At 6'4" with a 6'7" wingspan, he has size and length above average for his NBA projected position of point guard, and that length combined with his athleticism could allow him to be an excellent defender against point guards and potentially switchable against multiple positions. He uses changes of speed, quick twitch athleticism, and above average handles to attack. His first step is insane, and combined with his leaping ability, he's good for a few highlights a game in high school, and because he can float, he's shown the ability to adjust mid-air and come up with some creative finishes through contact. His poster hunting or highlight chasing has been a major criticism so far. Some NBA scouts wonder if he values the highlight reel more than the fundamentals of winning. They question his feel for the game, which looked relatively good in Summer League, albeit on a small sample size. He's also pretty inefficient. He's a player that likes to attack, but not much of a shooter right now, so to be efficient in the NBA, he would have to get to the rim and draw fouls against smarter, stronger defenders. Jalen is a point guard, but he's not the type to average insane amounts of assists, or at least he hasn't been up to this point of his career. He can find the open man, and he can even use his penetration to create for others, but he's always looked for his own shot before others because his athleticism allows him to get open against inferior competition. If you're guaranteeing Jalen a spot on your roster, you're banking on him developing his playmaking for others and fixing his jump shot to a respectable level to force defenders to play up on him, enough to allow him to go around him, or he has to hit more than he misses if they leave him open. In my opinion, grabbing an undrafted player like Jalen Lecque and dedicating the time it takes to develop him is a smart move that a smart team would do. The Suns have struggled developing in the past, but as an undrafted free agent, Lecque likely had options, and one wonders if the Suns made some promises on spending the time and energy that it would take to turn Jalen into an NBA point guard. He did choose the Suns after all. Is Jalen Lecque the long-term answer next to Devin Booker at point guard? Probably not. At worst, he could be an ultra-athletic guy who never fully develops the feel necessary to be an NBA point guard, and the shot doesn't develop enough to make him a valuable off-ball guard. At his best, he could be an ultra-athletic point guard who constantly puts pressure on the defense and gets other guys open with quickness and savvy. How he develops will say a lot about the new Suns coaching staff and their capabilities going forward. We just got to get that new practice facility open, right?